Hello YouTubers and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. This time I shall be taking a look at the third Doctor and Dalek set, which was first released back in 2013 for the 50th anniversary of the show. First off, let's take a look at the third Doctor. Now this is a reuse of a previous sculpt, as ever with most of these Doctor Dalek sets which were released around the same time, but that doesn't mean that this is a bad figure. Even though this is technically inaccurate, with all that, it would require a lot of retooling. Character Options went for the cheaper option, but I have to say I really do like this figure, and I actually think this is one of the best Third Doctor action figures that we've ever got so far. In fact, I'd go so far to say probably may be the best Third Doctor action figure that we've ever had. In terms of the detail on the face, it looks just like Jon Pertwee, which is absolutely brilliant. He's one of my favourite Doctors. He's just an amazing Doctor, and I think the detail they've put into this figure is really great. In fact, I might say that the paint applications on this figure as a whole have been slightly improved, as with the William Hartnell figure, which came as part of the other Dalek set which I've just reviewed. I think the paint applications that have been applied to these particular figures have improved the overall likeness of the actors, and that can only be a good thing. The main costume of this figure is painted in a purple colour. He's got like this pink shirt underneath here, and he's wearing his purple coat because that's what he wore for the majority of Planet of the Daleks. And it's one of my favourite outfits that he wore during his time in the show. I believe he only wore this once. I don't believe he wore this in any other story. I could be mistaken, but that's from the top of my head from what I can remember, because I've not seen it for quite a while now. But I really do like this coat, and I'm really glad that they've released this version of the third Doctor. But it mainly is a repaint of previous sculpt. So we've had a green version of this, it's just been repainted purple, but it really works nicely. The legs are more or less the same as others, like the Death to the Daleks version and whatnot. The articulation, the head can move from side to side. Again, like most others, you're probably familiar by now, I don't want to really do an exorcist twist with them, because I don't really want to damage the neck area. The arms can go all the way around, the biceps can do a 360, the elbows can move up and down, and the wrists can do a 360, and like the William Hartnell figure, this also has a ring on his small finger, as Jon Pertwee wore that on the show. So in terms of articulation and detail, it's pretty solid. The legs can also move up and down, back and forth. They can move to the sides. There is thigh articulation as well as knee articulation. There's no articulation at the ankles, but that's all good. I'm not really fussed about ankle articulation. So overall, very good figure. One of the best Third Doctor figures, if not the best. The most interesting thing about this set, though, is the fact that we got this particular type of Dalek, which, to be honest, when this was first announced back in 2013, I was quite astounded. I thought there was a very interesting choice of release. This is, of course, the Invisible Dalek, which made its brief but memorable appearance at the end of episode 1 of Planet of the Daleks. I think that this is a very interesting figure for the fact that half of it is see-through and half of it looks like it's been spray painted, like how it was in the actual story. So if you look at that side, it looks like it's see-through. And we look at this side, it looks like that it's been spray painted with black. In terms of the sculpt, this is more or less a 1970s Dalek, so it's a typical Dalek that you would have saw around this era, except this gives the illusion that it's supposed to be invisible. I think that the work that's been put into this has been really good. I think what they did, they must have actually made this like a translucent plastic or opaque, and they would have just slapped on a bit of paint on this section of the figure. I think it works very well. It's a very interesting choice of release, but very welcome one. In terms of articulation, it's a Dalek. What do you expect? The head can do 360 turn again. The eye can move up and down, but like other Daleks that were released around this time, it's not removable. The sucker arm can do a 360 turn, but again, a bit like the Supreme Dalek figure from the Daleks Master Plan, this is very loose. I don't know why it's loose, but on mine they seem to be loose. And the gun isn't that loose, but you can easily take this gun out. This gun pops out a lot on this particular figure, but you can just easily pop it back in. Good choice of release, interesting choice. One of the most interesting reasons why you should pick up this set. Overall, not a bad thing to say about this set, but I personally think the best thing about this is the Third Doctor. I think that this is an absolutely brilliant representation of his appearance from the story, you know, with the purple outfit and his green cravat just around the neck area there, which I forgot to mention that he has a bit of a few patterns there, which is nice attention to detail, because I believe he did have a few patterns on that cravat, what he wore in the story. So good choice of release, interesting in terms of the Dalek, but nonetheless a very solid release by Character Options. Nothing bad to say. I just wish that they release figures more often. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned next time. Bye for now.